Gardening doesn't have to be expensive, and I think everybody should have the opportunity to grow their own garden, no matter their budget. But if you start looking online and looking at all the things that you might need to grow a garden, the cost can start to rise. Especially if you look at seed catalogs, which I absolutely love doing. And if you start picking out all your favorites, it can be a large sum of money. I recently did a video about all the seeds that I purchased this year, and then also did a video which I broke down all of the cost for my garden last year. Check out those videos after this one. But for right now, stick on this video if you want to find out ways that you can get cheap or even free seeds for your garden. The very first one that I have is free seeds from your local library. Now, not all libraries are going to be doing this. It's going to vary from library to library, but check out your local library. The library in my hometown has a seed library where you can go. They've got them set up in one of those cool old card catalogs with the little drawers. Someday I would love to own one and actually store my seeds in one of those, but they have it and you can go and you can get up to, I think, 5 packets of seeds for free at that library. Now, my local library here, where I currently live, doesn't have free seeds, but they have classes about gardening. I actually plan to go to one later today to hang out with other fellow gardeners and people interested in gardening and actually do a seed exchange, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later. The next thing on my list would be your state and local agricultural extension service. If you're in the United States, every single state has this, and they, I'm pretty sure, have local branches in all the different counties within the state. And their whole mission is to help people with their agricultural needs, all of their projects. They can have grants and different funding, education, and sometimes even free seeds. Again, mine doesn't have free seeds, but they do have free soil testing, which I have used and will continue to use to see how my garden is doing. In addition to your state and local agricultural extension services, you may also have what is called a local soil conservation district. We have one in Louisville, Kentucky, and I have gotten free seeds from them. We've gotten pollinator mixes, which we're going to be planting out around our property to bring in those pollinators, and I got a bunch of cover crop mix to plant in raised beds in this new area that I'm doing, absolutely for free. So check out your local soil conservation district and see if they have free seeds as well. The next one would be nonprofit organizations that focus on pollinators and wildlife habitat. Now, those are some of the best places to find seeds. Typically, it's going to be flowers, but flowers are still very important in your garden if your main purpose is still growing vegetables, because for a lot of vegetables, you need pollinators to ensure that you have a good crop. So you want to bring in those pollinators, attract them with flowers in and around your edible plants, and it'll also bring in beneficial insects that will prey on some of the pests that you may have in your garden. So check out those nonprofit organizations, and one that I have on my list that's online is the Alt National Park. I have a link down below. Right now on the screen, I'm showing you their website, and you can see where they've got a form where you could fill out, and you could either get some black-eyed Susan or milkweed. So definitely check out Alt National Park and get some free seeds from them and help expand your own little backyard national park. Now, I do want to provide a caveat for any of these services that have free seeds to not abuse them. If they have like a place where you can go and like get free seeds at the library, if it says take only 5, take only 5. Don't be creating multiple email addresses to try to get your free seeds from online places. And if you have the means to purchase seeds, that like it's not going to break your budget, maybe don't use those resources. Leave them for other people who, may be wanting to start a garden but don't have the resources available to them. Leave those free resources for someone else, and maybe even consider, which is something that I do, donating to organizations that provide free seeds and education to people. So that's my little plug there to use them, but do not abuse these resources for free and cheap seeds. The next one would be seed saving. Now, if you're a first-time gardener, you may be thinking, well, I can't save any seeds. I haven't had a garden. Kind of true. But if you've had a garden before, rather than buying new seeds every single time, do a little studying on seed saving. Some things that are really easy to save would be non-hybrid tomatoes. You don't want to try to save seeds from a hybrid because you don't know what you're going to get. So non-hybrid tomatoes, so your heirloom tomatoes. Peppers are pretty easy. Peas, beans, corn. Just see, what is the risk of cross-pollination? What do you need to do to seclude them to make sure you don't get cross-pollination? I would hold off and not try to do any of the cucumber families. So anything that is a squash, a pumpkin, a cucumber, anything like that, because they're very prone to cross-pollinating and interbreeding. So may not do those. So seed saving, but even if you haven't had a garden before, you can actually save seeds from plants or from vegetables at the grocery store. Again, stay away from those cucumbers and squashes. But something that might work would be tomatoes. Now, you may not know if it's a hybrid tomato, but my dad has actually had really good success with saving tomato seeds from the garden. He grew them, they bred true, and had some really good plants. So I've saved those seeds and will be growing those in my garden this year because they were those types where you see the tomatoes still on the vine, those nice little red orb tomatoes. They were really good, great for slicing, good for like doing with mozzarella on a pizza. So you can save seeds from your vegetables that you get at the grocery store. And then once you start saving seeds and building up your own, personal little seed library, go to seed exchanges, and they may be organized through gardening groups, which you can find through Facebook or in real life, and meet up with people in your area who are growing plants just like you, and go, exchange seeds with them. That's the biggest thing that I'm going to the library for, is to connect with fellow gardeners, but see if I can trade some of the seeds that I have excess of with other people, and just build that community. So seed exchanges are a great way to increase the variety that you have. In addition to like a more formal seed exchange on my list, this is maybe like a subcategory, but exchanging seeds with friends and family. If you have people in your life that you already know that are fellow gardeners, you can do a lot of seed exchanging with them. Because if you get a packet of tomatoes, let's say, from a company like Baker Creek, which I got a lot of my seeds from, a packet of tomato seeds could have 25, 35 seeds for a certain variety. And I don't know your garden size, but maybe that is way too many seeds. So you could kind of, go in half seeds, go in together, and get a larger variety than you normally would be able to, because you're dividing those seed packets up, because a seed packet can contain a whole lot of seeds. The very last one on my list here, which would be cheap seeds from places like the dollar store, or even Menards, a hardware store here has very, very cheap seeds. So like I think they're regularly like 70, 80 cents, but then they're like automatically marked down to 15 cents. But we picked up some seeds kind of on a whim. They were right there at the checkout. They worked great. We grew acorn squash from those, a type of pepper, lettuce, arugula. So definitely, just because the seeds are really cheap from a place like the dollar store, Dollar Tree, even those, the not name brand kind of like cheap looking packets, those seeds grow. They work out really well. You may not find your most interesting varieties, but you can find your good staples from those seeds. So definitely don't sleep on those cheap seeds. So that is my list of places to find free or cheap seeds for your garden. If you have anything that I missed, if you know of places of online resources or places that people maybe should check out in their local community, leave it in a comment down below. I've been loving the comments I've been receiving on my recent videos for tips and tricks and different things, because it helps me learn stuff, which I absolutely love. I get to engage with people who are watching my videos, but then they also help other people as well. You guys have left some very, very informative comments. So thank you very much. Until next time, my name is Tyler Lloyd, and this is my YouTube channel where I explore ways to live a happier, healthier, more sustainable life. See you later. Bye.